Good afternoon and welcome to Sunday, windy Sunday, the 7th of November. It's already 1 o'clock. Day's running away with me. I've been busy. I've been washing Freedom's roof and her port side. I've got to put her across to the finger jetty to do the near side, starboard side, so I'm going to do that maybe on Wednesday. And I apologise for this last week's vlog being so long. I never plan what I'm actually going to do. I don't script it, I don't rehearse it, it just as it happens. And some weeks there seems to be a lot, and I've got to get in the habit of breaking it down a little bit, because obviously when it gets into an hour you need to sit down with your tea and watch it. Anyway, so yeah, I've been out. I've just got back from walking Misty for a midday walk, and this morning, having washed the sides, as I say, of Freedom, I got the hose pipe out. The storage bin, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I videoed this last week, the storage bin on the back of the boat that Jeff had used, previous owner, for storing wood and coal. I finally got it emptied, and I've washed it out and I've put it to better use. I don't need to store wood and coal in it because I've got a better organised system. And I'm going to put a staple and asp on it, so I can put a padlock on, and I'm using it to store my paint. So I'm just going to turn you around. I keep doing this every week on you know. This is the storage locker. If I get my act together, after I've done this little intro, I'll show you the video that I shot last week about what I'm going to do with it, and then I'll cut on to the end of it what I've done with it now, if that makes sense. And as I've already told you last week, my daughter's coming this week, and so I've got Tuesday with her, which is normally my videoing day. I'm going to cook up something quick and easy in the kitchen, which I'll show you, and I'll try and keep this a shorter vlog. So without any further ado, let's get this staple and asp put on. Good morning and welcome to Sunday, the 31st of October. The sun's now come out and we've got a bit of a blue sky, but it's nearly dinner time and it's been absolutely howling down with rain most of the night and most of the morning. So I've not cleaned the chimney that I was going to do. I've lit the fire instead. So I've just got to nip out and do a little bit of food shopping. Misty's having a sleep, but I've decided this store bin here, when I moved on to Freedom, this is what Jeff created as his he had a coal and wood store, and I did the same for the first year. I've decided I've almost emptied this one now, because when I lifted the lid it was full of coal. I'd filled it up last year and forgot I'd even done it, and that was full of the offcuts. So I'm going to over the next couple of weeks get rid of all this wood on the fire, clean out this last bit of coal. I'm going to wipe the whole thing out, take the partition that is put in the middle out, and then I'm going to use this as my paint and toilet cleaner and boat cleaning product store. And my plan is to fit on the front here. I'll drill it and put a decent padlock, asp and whatever they call staple and asp on there. And I was going to get rid of it actually, just to make the space, because again it would just make looking over the side of the boat a lot easier if I could actually stand where this is now. And I still might do that when I go out, but for now I'm thinking, well, it's just a handy worktop when I'm doing any odd jobs where I need to, you know, put a piece of timber to work on it or anything like that. So it's going to stay there for now, but I may when I come to take Freedom out, I might just, I don't actually think I've got room to move it anywhere else. It can't go on the front because I've already got 2 lockers on the front. I might, just might, move that little rack there, because me logs and that will have gone, because I'm going out in the summer, not in the winter. So I just might put my shoe rack there, measure up to see if that'll just fit there as a temporary measure while I'm out on the water, and it just means I can stand closer to the control lever when the pram cover is down, so all that will be down. I can stand right up to that green bar there and look down the side of Freedom with my extender rod that's on my tiller. So yeah, a bit of a change. Got to give it a bit of thought. Reluctant just to get rid of it, because it's one of them things, once it's gone you think, oh, I wish I'd kept it. And I have got this one, but that keeps my Henry Hoover that I was designated solely for when I clean the fire. It's an old Henry Hoover that I use to suck all the crap out the back of the back boiler with a special pipe that I've made. Plus it's full of clean, dry blankets for Misty, and it's where the tiller arm extenders and the pole, etc., will get stored away in a bit. When I've shown my daughter it when she comes to visit this week, then it's going to go in there out of the way. As I say, when I'm out on the water, these bags won't be here because it'll be summertime, and it's only in the winter that I tend to put the logs on the back. I keep the coal on the front, and you don't do a lot of entertaining or anything out here in the summer, in the winter, so it becomes a little bit more of a like a conservatory type add-on dry area just to keep the fuel. Right, need to go and do some food shopping. So my plan today is just to put this onto this cabinet here. I'm going to use this to store all my paint, cans of oil, bits and bobs. Again, so you can't have them down in the engine bay really, it's a bit dangerous. There's nothing highly inflammable in here as such, but it's keeping everything nice and safe. It's not got any what I call value, so it's just a standard off-the-shelf cheap little asp and staple, as we call them, and just a secure on there with a padlock. Now, the only slight problem I've got is that Jeff has put this lump of wood on top of the lid. So if I was to put the this part on the proper way, it's actually going to be I can't get the asp in the right place, or the staple, whichever way around you class it. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put it on upside down, so I can screw that bit, the top holes of this, into the wood and the plastic, and it'll sit that way up. And I don't think it really matters as long as it's got a padlock on there and it's secure. So I'm going to get my drill, see if I've got some nuts, bolts and screws, and let's get it fitted. So I'm just going to mark where the screw holes are going to go, and then once we've got this bit on, we can line up the other half. Now I don't know. Now, let me think. What we might just do, I'm just going to draw a very fine hole just to make life a bit easier. Just to start for the screws. I'm not going all the way through on them. Just makes because that's quite solid, so I think the screws will hold that round now. Need to put bolts in there. These jars, you know, I'm quite chuffed with this idea. It's enough make finding your bits and pieces you want a lot easier. Let's get you on. In fact, I've got some black black screws to go with a black. Look at that, almost made for it. I just went into local Wilco's and just bought a whole array of nuts, bolts, washers to put in these jam jars, because I just thought they're the sort of thing, again, when you're out on the water and you want an odd screw or whatever, it'll be sod's law that you haven't got it. So these jars are just sitting, as I've shown you in the previous video, under my shelf in the electric cupboard, and they're just easy to find, to get to. And just keep an assortment of all sorts of bits and pieces. Same as fuses, insulation tape. Just keep a little bit of everything, and then you know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So I'm just going to put these into this plastic. As I say, there's nothing really in either of the storage lockers of any value. So if I have a moored up somewhere and some scumbag decides he's going to break the padlocks off to have a look inside, I'm not overly worried, because obviously there's no value as such. Right, so just got to work out where the moles are going to go. Yeah, so anywhere around there, Martin. And remember to put your asp the right way round. The last thing you want is to leave all the screw heads showing, so they can just unscrew it. At least if they have to force it off, you're making them work for the livings. But if you leave the screw heads visual, they're bound to have a flipping screwdriver in the pocket, because it's the tools of the trade apparently for people who are breaking. I just need to see. Yeah, I've got room there to put a couple of small nuts and bolts, so I'm going to drill a slightly bigger hole. That's a 5mm. I think I've got a couple. There we go. Couple of, I think they might be 5mm. And this is what I'm saying, just from doing jobs, you had the odd nut and bolt left, and these are a couple I had left from when I was doing the steps on the side of Freedom. So they're now coming in handy to secure this boy on here. So I think we'll get away with a 5mm hole. You can always make it a bit bigger if it's not. Are you big enough? Anyway, just take the nuts off and slip them on the other side. And then at least, I didn't want to throw this away, you see, because for me it's, as I said earlier in last week's vlog, it's a bit of a work surface, and you need, you know, when you're not living in a house with a garage where you've got a bench, you need something just for doing odd jobs. And I'm going to get myself a little vise that I'm going to bolt onto this, so that if I ever need a vise, I've got one. And for future DIY jobs, it'll just make life a little bit easier. Right, so I'm going to put the washers on the other side. So this is going to fasten up that way. So I've used my favourite drill bits, the ones that's got the threads craters on them. So this is actually going to go through a thread in the plastic. I know it's not going to secure it as such, because the bolt's going to have the nut on to the side, but at least it's screwing it into the plastic, so it's not as easy to pull it straight out, if that makes sense. Assuming that will allow that to go. Yeah, that's brilliant. Not a big expensive job to do, and again, it tidies up the stern deck, because I've got all my big bottles of toilet cleaner, what you put in the cassette, toilet blue, tucked down here, and I've got cans of paint behind here. You know, it's just untidy, and I do like to try and keep everything neat and tidy. So just put that there in it, block that up. Now I know you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, I'm going to put these nuts on the back of these bolts. If I can get my finger in. What I'm trying to do is hold the nut, screw the bolt onto the nut, because there's not a lot of room at the back. Just got to get the threads to catch. That's got it, the first one's on. I can feel it tightening up there. At least with a bolt on the back, and not the bolt on there, I mean, again, it's not easy to pull it off. You know, this is quite a strong plastic container, so I apologise again for getting in front of the camera, but I just need to try and get my hand in here. I can feel the nut tightening up behind. And then that's another job hopefully sorted. It's a weatherproof box, so when I've got the roof down, pram cover down, it doesn't matter if it rains. That's all nice and secure. Get that sorted. Just got to get the padlock on there, and that'll keep everything neat and tidy. So it's made use of a box that I was going to throw away. I'm just going to take you off the stand and just show you inside. Come back to you in a sec. So, as you can see, it's quite a big box, this. And they are large Elsan Blue bottles, and they don't take up a lot of space in there. And it's just handy for all these sort of gadgets and bits and pieces. And I'm well chuffed with that. Sorted. What do you reckon? What do you mean you don't like it? Cheeky. Oh. Well, somebody asked me the other day when I was going to get back into doing a few sections in the vlogs of cooking, and it's getting into the winter months now, so there's less I can do on the boat externally. I've done a few little tasks this morning, as I've already shown you, and I didn't show you cleaning the boat because, you know, there's no point. I've done that before. So I thought what I would do, I'd show you how to make really quickly make some lovely ginger biscuits. And I know it's easy to go in shop and pay whatever it is, 70 pence for a packet, or 25 if you're going in Aldi. But these are so easy to make, and it's something that on a winter's morning, when you've got your cup of coffee, if you bake them as a Dunkin' biscuit, they're cracking, absolutely cracking. But we're going to give you some options on that. So let me just first of all tip you down, and I'll show you the ingredients. Oh, you've got a bit of skew whiff, look. This is so easy. Right, we have 225 grams self-raising flour, 115 grams caster sugar, 2 teaspoons ground ginger. Now if you want your biscuits to be really gingery, then obviously you can put a little bit more in, but you will find that 2 isn't a bad amount to put in, 2 teaspoons. So just give it a quick sieve. Don't want any lumps. Press them out. That's half the ingredients already sorted. Let me just get a mixer. Now in a saucepan, on a very low light, I've just melted 85 grams of salted butter with 115 grams of golden syrup. Now, make a well in your bowl and tip it all in. You don't have to be anything fancy, you don't have to put a little bit in at a time. Just get it in. As I say, these are a very fast and easy to make biscuit. Can you still see me all right? It's hard sometimes trying to video it while you're doing it. And the nice thing with this is, you know, you can actually make this and put it in the fridge in the basic form and cook it tomorrow. You know, you don't have to do it all in one hit. Now what you're going to do now is just mix these together and you're going to create a paste. You don't want it to be too wet, and it will absorb all them dry ingredients. Just make sure you when you do weigh your ingredients out, be accurate. Don't put any more. If you can hear the gurgling, it's not my tummy, it's the washing machine, because it's an horrible old day outside. It's cold, it's windy, and I thought, well, I'm going to get my jobs done on freedom. I'm going to make some biscuits and I'll get some washing done. Right, just scrape that off of there. Now we're going to get his hand in. Let's get a good squeeze about, mixing it together. Get all your ingredients off the side of your bowl. And that's it, you've actually made the base for your biscuits. It doesn't come much easier than that. Now this will take you maybe about 10 minutes to put the ingredients together, and then it'll take between 10 and 15 minutes to actually cook your biscuits. Now, I know I keep going out of shot. Baking tray, lightly greased. Break off. You can do this with a spoon so you get the same amount every time. About a good hefty teaspoonful. Make a ball, roll it around in your hand, it just makes it more pliable. Don't be tempted to squidge these down too much, unless you're going to have what I call dunking biscuits. If you want them to be really a hard biscuit, then yeah, by all means give them a bit of a press. If you're happy to have them what I call a slightly chewy biscuit, I like them actually when they're slightly chewy. You know, you can have a bit of a hard edge to them, but the middle is nice and chewy. That's how my preference is for them. And just make yourself, don't matter, they don't have to be all symmetrical, but do leave some gaps because this will expand when it goes in the oven. Now while you're making this, your oven should be heating. I'm on gas, so I'm on 6 on the setting. Don't be tempted to cook them any hotter, because all you're going to do is end up with rock hard biscuits then. And you know, you don't want them to be totally rock hard. Now, if you want to make these as a dunking biscuit, so you want to dunk it in your coffee, then when you come to bake them, leave them in for about 13.5 minutes. You don't really need to leave them any longer. You can, if you want, no longer than 15, but I think 13.5 minutes you'll be happy with the result. If, however, like me, you like them to be a bit chewier and not so rock hard, then give them 11.5 minutes, no longer. Now when you take them out, you're going to think that they're not cooked. Well, they are cooked, but they need to be left just to harden naturally. Okay, so don't be tempted to take them straight off the tray. Just leave them for a few minutes on the baking tray when they come out of the oven before you put them onto a cooling rack. And I've got a little bit left there, so I'm just going to incorporate that in. These are going to be quite big biscuits actually, and I know I could have done 2 batches, but I thought it would just be easy to put 1 tray load in. And that is it. All we've got to do now is get them in the oven. For middle shelf, gas mark 6, and I'm now going to set the timer for an 11.5 minute bake. Okay, now what I need to do is leave them to cool. Yeah, just leave them a few minutes just to settle, because these will be quite soft. As I say, if you want to make them into what I call a dunking biscuit, then do leave them in the oven for an extra, about another 90 seconds, minute and a half. But these have only had 11.5. They will harden as they cool down, because the treacle and that in there will set them. But I quite like them when they're quite, what I call a gooey, not uncooked, but they're a softer ginger biscuit. And as you can see, these are quite thick. If you want them to be a dunking biscuit, as I said to you earlier, just press on them. Just oh, taking it out of your view. Let me show you. How's that? That's better, you can see them. Yeah, just if you want them as a dunking biscuit, when you put the actual mixture on the baking tray before you place it in the oven, just press them down a little bit, and that'll make your biscuits a lot thinner. They'll spread more, obviously, and when they bake, they'll bake a lot harder. But these are going to be slightly more moist inside. And there you go. So 10 minutes to make them, 11.5 minutes to bake them, and about 5 minutes to eat the lot. So you've got no excuse. It's just self-raising flour, caster sugar, butter, golden syrup, and a couple of spoons of ground ginger. Let me know if you've baked some. Let me know how you've got on, and send me some pictures in your comments. Cider of the Week. Good evening and welcome to this week's Cider of the Week. And as you can see, we've got a celebrity.
Oh, we have.
And this is Polly. This is the one you don't see. She's the one that does all the thumbnails and all the wording of every vlog that goes out. And I know what you're thinking. You can see where she gets her youthful good looks from.
Yeah.
Obviously not her dad. So this week we're going to do a double cider of the week.
We are.
And we're going to do pineapple and raspberry old malt and watermelon and lime. And this is where I normally would discuss what has been already produced in this week's vlog. And we're working a bit back to front because I don't normally film the vlogs till Tuesday. And today is Monday, the 8th. I think it's the 8th, yeah, it's the 8th of November. And Polly's staying overnight and we're going out for a meal tomorrow. And I said, well, while you're here, you can do a cider of the week as well. So I can't tell you what's in the vlog. And I'll have to cut that in after they've done this. So it'll be a bit of a mishmash. But we'll play it by ear. She's just said to me, do we do takes? So we take a little bit and then if we get something wrong...
Bloopers.
Do we do a bit more? And I says to her, I've never, ever scripted or cut out, or I just do it as it is. So it'll be interesting to see Polly's review on...
watermelon and lime.
Watermelon and lime, old malt.
Old malt.
So I've got pineapple and raspberry, which is a 500ml bottle. I can't tell you how much it cost. Do you know I'm getting bad at this? Because I couldn't tell you how much last week's was, because that was a free gift. This is from my very good friend Callum, who left me 3 bottles. Now, one of the bottles he left me, I've already reviewed. Not the bottle he left me, but the same brand. And I did that a couple of weeks ago. And this is, it's a New Zealand, it says New Zealand cider on it. And it's a 500ml bottle and it's 4%. And as we say every week, let's crack it open and see what it tastes like. I says to Polly, did you want a big glass? And she's having a whiskey tumbler because if I give her a big glass, it'll make her look even smaller.
Exactly. I am sat on 2 cushions as well, by the way. So.
I'm cheating in a way because I know what old malt ciders taste like, although I've never had this particular...
I don't think I've ever tried old malt
this one before. So, frothy, full of bubbles, which is a good start. Well, I can smell the pineapple.
Ooh. Oh.
I can't smell the raspberry.
No, definitely pineapple.
Do you know, I think I said this when I did the kiwi version. When you buy a branded cider, and I'm not being disrespectful to Aldi, but when you buy the branded ciders and they've got the fruits in them, you can actually taste the fruits, if that makes sense, and they're refreshing. Some of the lesser known ciders tend to be a little bit chemical, if that makes sense, but this is actually quite a nice cider. I would have this as a social cider. I wouldn't have it with a meal, it's too sweet. It would be very filling, you wouldn't eat your dinner. And it's icy cold. When I've said this before, you most likely want to pour it over ice cubes. I don't do that because it just waters it down. So it's been in the ice box and it's nice. Would I buy this? Definitely. Definitely. Does it taste better when somebody gives it to you free? Absolutely. Even better. So I'm not advertising because obviously I have to make a point of telling people this because somebody once said to me, oh, you can get took off of YouTube for advertising. This is, as I say, I've already said, it's a free gift. But what I would say is if anybody's got any bottles of old malt cider that they haven't already opened that want trying, just send them through. Courtesy of Mercy Marina, Freedom and Martin. And I will taste them for you. That for me, without any shadow of a doubt, is an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's good.
I like it. I wouldn't race out to buy it above all others, but I like it. And I'll have some of that in my fridge over winter for the Christmas period. and it's just a nice, light, refreshing cider. Definitely buy some of that. I don't think you'll be disappointed. As for the other one, I'm not so sure, because I've not had that one either. And I'm not going to have it because I'm going to pass you a glass.
Thank you.
I'm going to pass you your bottle.
Thank you very much. So again, it's pretty much straightforward, the same as yours really. It's a New Zealand one. One in a melon. Blended with watermelon and lime juice. You're about to experience a refreshing blend of the natural sweetness of watermelon and crisp lime. We love nature and we couldn't craft our tasty cider without it, which is why we like to look after it. So it's got, other flavours. So you've had the pineapple and raspberry one, obviously. It's a 500ml and 4% volume.
I didn't know she'd come to read a story to me.
Everyone. Oh, I can't smell anything. Good start.
Yours is just water.
Put a little bit in. It's a nice pink colour. I think it's, the thing is with watermelon, it doesn't always have a very strong smell.
No.
That's really nice.
Didn't make you shudder?
No.
That's
really nice. I was surprised. Yeah, I've got a hint of watermelon now. I do like watermelon, eating it or flavoured things. And it's just very light, it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
Which I think it's nice, like when you have fruit ciders, sometimes it like overpowers the cider itself.
I think you find that with cheaper ciders.
No, that one's actually really subtle. It's nice. It's pleasant. I would have it with a meal or a social drink. No, it's lovely.
She'll have it with a meal. So tomorrow we're going to Ragley Boat Stop.
We are.
For dinner, for lunch. And Callum has challenged me to have the Mighty Man mixed grill. And I'm going to order the same one for Polly. And I'm going to get a bottle of old malt watermelon and see if she can drink the whole bottle with her dinner.
I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you bloody won't. So, where would you rank it out of 10?
Ooh. To say I don't have many ciders, and this is a nice one, I'd probably say about 8.5.
8.5. That's keeping your options open.
It is.
So, there you have it. We've got a very, very nice pineapple and raspberry.
And a lovely watermelon and lime old malt.
So, as I say every week, from Misty and Me
and Polly. Cheers.
Well, I've just taken Polly home. I was going to change the radiator that's been leaking in the bedroom before I took her home today, but then I found that one of the valves had been seal pasted, for want of a better word, in position to stop any leaks, and I was struggling to to undo it without causing another problem. So I wanted to wait until I've spoken to John, who's my neighbour 4 boats down, who's a trained plumber. And bless him, he's been tonight, and he's managed to crack the valve. So everything's still as it is. I'm going to do the actual changeover. He's advised me there's a specific spanner that I need, which I'm going to get, and I'm most likely going to do this now on Tuesday next week on my first day off. It's not urgent. And so it's been a different kind of week. It's been nice to have my daughter come over. She came Monday night, stayed yesterday, and as I say, has gone back midday today. And somebody's just asked me tonight, did you not find it makes you feel lonely when there's nobody on the boat with you? And the answer is, it's horrible to say it, but no. I actually love the solitude of being on here with just Misty. It's nice to have had my daughter here, don't get me wrong. Although I don't think she's mastered the art of making tea or putting the hoover round. And I'm sure it says on the side of the boat, welcome to freedom. And I think my daughter reads that it says, welcome to Freedom Hotel. She knows I'm only joking, but it's been lovely having her. All she does is eat. She's not very big, but by God does she eat. And I keep saying to her, you never come in again because you eat me out of the house and home. You drink all my drinks and then you go off back to your mum. But she's welcome anytime, she knows that. So all that remains for me to say is thank you for watching. I know it's been a different kind of vlog. Do give the biscuits a try. I'm sure you'll like them. Please, as I say every week, please, if you have enjoyed the vlog and you enjoy what we try to project as life on a wide beam, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and press that notification bell, because it, without being selfish, it makes me feel good, and that's part of the keeping my mental health where it should be, you know. And it's that interaction and people commenting, which I love it when people comment, good, bad or indifferent, it doesn't matter. It's just having that interaction with people. But I don't want you on my boat. I'll show you around, but I don't want you to come and stop, because I like it as it is. So until next week, okay, thanks for watching. Remember, thumbs up, press the subscribe, press the notification, and I'll catch up with you next week. Ta-da.